All right, so we got the cab in the air, got all that primed up. You see how far the engine is, right up to the core support. Gave me plenty of room though, so we got that sorted. She's just sitting on blocks for now. Got a couple pipe stands under the back, but it's time for some of my semi-fictional, not really storytelling time. So when I first got the truck, it was that color brown everywhere, and it really wasn't in bad shape. It got ran into on the front, so I have a different hood and different front grille from another truck. But as far as the body of this truck, the only work we did was patch the rear tank hole because we weren't going to use it. We focused all our attention over here and putting that patch panel in and welding up the floor. Put another patch panel right there. So you can kind of see this side's not bad. We did a lot more work over here than we did over there. And this side of the truck is much better than the other side. So what happened before I got it, all of this is before I got it. It was sitting on a hill, just rotting away. There's an bunch of acorns in this top of this door sill. So they're sitting in the door frame, growing up and over, pushing this door down. As you can tell, these are a little misshapen. It was forcing the door down. So what that did was let water in the top, and it drained all the way down into this corner, and it drained over here. So we had a lot of rust over here, but we didn't notice what was there. We have a global weld there, a global weld, some more. Because all we saw were the pinholes. And you can see right there. We didn't even see that. So, 12 years ago, we weren't really focused on a perfect sheet metal job. We were just focused on, let's get the truck running so that we could drive it. So, I also had a heater core blow out. And when that blows out, it soaks this. And it drains right into this corner. And I never took the sill plate off. I literally had to rip this out and get all the screws out because it was that bad. But over here, we got some rot in here. So I'm going to take a needler and just run the needler in here. And then when I'm all done with welding this, I'm going to drill a drain hole right through here. I know there's one there, but I want one in this corner, so that it can just drain right out there. So, but yeah, this side of the truck was hammered. That side of the truck had its normal rust holes because, let's face it, you getting in and out of your truck on the driver's side. Anytime you set foot in a vehicle with wet shoes or it's raining, whatever, your foot's over there. Your foot's right here. And this is a low spot. There's even a pinhole in the patch panel. This came out of another floor. There's a pinhole right there. You can see it. That truck that it came out of was low mile, but that still had a hole. It rots right there. And this rots because you drag your foot in, and water will sit here, right butt up against the sill plate and rot out. And then here, obviously, it just collects in there. So this side's going to get a drain hole there too. And then on this side of the truck, there was a switching valve, but we welded that up. But also up here, you have a lot of rust in this area because of the fuel tank. And then on these trucks, it's known to have rust rot out all the way around. So I'm going to clean and re-seam seal all this, you know, the roof gets sun-baked, but this whole channel will fill up with gunk and rot everything out. So the goal is I'm gonna cut everything out of here, chip it out, whatever, and then seam seal it to where it's flush with the top. And hopefully that won't rust anymore. But all things considered, this truck really ain't bad. I sanded a lot of the back. Got some dents to pull. You can see here, here, here. It's not terrible. I'm not looking for like a show finish. I just want this truck to last. That's really all it is. So, but other than that, we're looking good. I mean, this is just gonna be flat. Lay some of the sheet metal back in it. I got this piece. So, no biggie. And this gap that ends up there, when I finish needling it out, I'm gonna just seam seal the corner. Call it a day. But I gotta wash this thing out. There's years of dirt and dust. I mean, she's filthy. So, she's gonna get a makeover. She's gonna be pretty again. It's gonna take some time, but at least I'll have a solid floor, really cool Mustang seats in it, 69 Camaro steering wheel, like all the goodies. And then the frame I'm gonna paint with like Pour 15 or something. Just rust prevent that. I mean, nothing crazy. So, but this is where I'm gonna call it tonight. Gotta head inside, and I want this all to dry anyways. So, take it easy, guys. Stay greasy. All right, so I got the rust cut out. Got one patch panel in here. I gotta cut the other one out, but it turned out pretty good. You see, there's a cross member. Got my spot weld holes drilled. I got the back. Priming it up. I just didn't want it rusting. Gotta deal with the drip rail. I gotta come in here. I'm gonna treat all the rust in it. I got some pretty bad rust in the center where that fold over notch is. But it's all right. It's not the actual roof pinch weld. It's just the pinch weld to the trim that goes around it. So I gotta go and get some rust converter, some treatment. Painted that, just kind of screwing around. Sanded the front. Still gonna sand the side. Just haven't done it yet. But yeah, let me show you this rust I'm talking about. This is pretty common on these trucks. They love to catch water. But you can see right through there. So, doesn't mean my roof skin's bad. It just means that trim pinch weld is no good. But I think we'll be all right. I gotta get all the trim off. Gotta sand all these holes so I can spot weld them, take off all the clips. Same here. Look at the other side real quick. I can't remember if the other side still had it or not. Yeah. All the holes, that piece of trim. See, this one's already off. And that. And then I'm gonna sand that up a little bit. This side of the floor is fine. So. But yeah, we're looking all right. I'm gonna fire up the welder and start tacking that in after I drill my holes, and then make this panel. I got one more to do right there. I'm just gonna do a square. So we're looking all right. I've seen worse and I've repaired worse, so I'm gonna cut this out after I get this one tacked in so that I can have a match that valley pretty good. And then I think we'll be pretty much done with the cab once I get all that stuff done. I'm gonna sand over the primer on the rear just to give it a nice scuff. And then I'm gonna tape these off. So, yeah, I vacuumed out in here. These collect a lot of junk. And then where the cowl comes down through inside of the cab to this vent and that vent, I'm already expecting a ton of junk in there. So I'll have to vacuum those out, treat the rust, because I know there's gonna be some rust in there. And we're gonna yank the seat out, yank the column, sand the dash, repaint the dash. I'm also going to sand this and then build my lower support for the radio. So we're looking good though. We're looking pretty good, but we'll get back to it. So I'll see you in a bit. All right, we went from this to this. A little bit of a hole to no hole. So we're looking good. It's all welded in. Start this one. Hopefully I don't run out of welding gas, but I probably will. But trash for that piece. On to the next. Alright, well, we'll wait for primer to dry and for the rust converter to do its work. You know, it's takes some time. Well, it looks like it's working, so. We're working on the tractor. So, the tractor, this is my new fuel filter base. The old one broke again. So these are half 20 to -6 ANs. Use some fuel safe gasket maker to seal them into the housing exactly where they were. And then the top screw was actually a return of the tank, but I don't know if you can see this. Let me get this in the camera correctly. Just looks like a normal bolt, right? But it's a hollow bolt. What we're dealing with on this, I believe, is a plugged port somewhere in this bolt. And that's part of the return issues that I'm having. I'm having a really difficult time with this thing returning fuel properly. Returns are usually dry on that tractor, which is not the case. It shouldn't be that way, but it could be overpressurizing the fuel system, leading to my fuel pump going bad. So it is hollow. I just shoved a screwdriver in it. It's hollow all the way up. There is no hole anywhere on this thing. So you can't return fuel through a banjo fitting if you don't have a slot for it. So I think that's part of my issues right now. But this was like $20 on Amazon, and it's got all the same fittings. It uses a better filter. It's actually got the drain. Everything works on it. So we're gonna rock with that. I've got my Aeons lines halfway made. I didn't get my 45s in, but we got one. I need my 45 for this end. Here's the other one. The 90s will work, but I want the 45s because the angle just works better for the fuel pump. So, but yeah, we're waiting on that right now. When I get that, we'll get to putting the lines on. All right, we're back on this old turd. Floors, patching up these holes. Got those ones patched. And in the back of the cab, it's a good 20 footer, maybe 50. It's fine. Working on these. Firewall's painted, again, another probably 50 footer. So, we got the seam seal down here, and I got my hole for the drain. And then we repaired the holes up here. Need to get my little belt sander in there and sand that down. And then we seam sealed the whole top of the cab. So now it's light sand on the top of the cab, paint that. Working on putting the fuel cell in it. So, kind of jumping around today, but I'm out of welding gas and it sucks. So, the old Yanmar went through and finally lapped the valves. I should have done it the first time. I had an exhaust seat that wasn't fully sealing, so part of the gallop it had. And then I gotta pull the pistons out. I think I got a broke ring somewhere, so no biggie. It sucks, but what can you do? And Bob's broken down, so get an F in chat for Bob. I think I broke a piston ring or burned a valve. I'm thinking piston ring, but he's hurt. So now we gotta figure out how we're gonna fix that. So, yay, only day 2 of vacation and I've already blown up one motor. So I'm doing pretty good. That didn't blow up on vacation, so that doesn't count, but yeah. Oh, and those turbo cans, they're really, really aggressive. I love it, but they move a lot of paint real fast. So, got runs for days all over this thing. But it's fine. I have decided to keep it ratty, keep it simple, keep it cheap. So, it'll be fine. I'll be back with more progress. Well, she's a solid 30 footer. It's all painted up now. She ain't gonna be a show winner, but she's not gonna rust anymore, I can tell you that. So I'm gonna call that good, because my OCD will have me sanding and painting until I get it right, and that'll probably be 10 years from now, so should be fine. But other news, found out my smoking issue with this old Yanmar. It ain't supposed to look like that. Oh, full-on chunk missing out of that. And then I believe it was this one. The second ring is stuck. So, got a new piston coming. I have new rings, so we're good there. But yeah, I'm gonna go work on the other 70. Try and get that turd fired up and rolling. So, making progress. That's all that matters.